Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Shadma
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 Bandho Mui Savadana Mate
Bandhu Mui Sarvadana Mate
Bandho Mui Savadana Mate Yahara Prasad He Bhai Ye Bhava Chaviya Jai
Yahara Prasad Bhai Bhavata
Krishna Prapti Hoy Yaha Hoyte
Krishna Prapti
Krishna Prapti Hoy Yaha Hoyte Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitte Te Kori Hai
Guru Mukha Padma
Ahanakari Hamane Asha Anakari Hamane Shri Guru Charanne Rati Say Hu Dhamma Gati
Shri Guru Charana Rati Se Uttama Gati
Shri Guru Charanne Rati Say Hu Dhamma Gati
Shri Guru Charana Rati Se Uttama Gati
Ye Prasade Pure Shavaya
Prasade Puresa
Ye Prasade Pure Savaya Chakudhana Tila Je Tamne Jamhe Prabhu Se Chakudhana Tila Je Tamne Jamhe Prabhu Se Divya Gyan Hide Prakashito Prema Bhakti Yaha Hoite Abhijati Nashayate Prema Bhakti Yaha Hoite Abhijati Nashayate Tere Ghaya Gaya Hara Charita Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adhama Chanara Bandhu Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adhama Chanara Bandhu Lokandhat Lokera Jivana Aha Prabhu Gora Daya De Hamare Pada Chaya Eve Bhash Kusukhi Pavana Eya Dhamma Lailu Sharana Tuya Pade Lailu Sharana Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Gurudeva Jaya Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Gurudeva Jaya
Jai Shri Gurudev ki jai, Om Shri Bhakti Govinda Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Om Shri Bhakti Rakshak Shridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Shri Rupanu Guru Varga ki jai, Shri Guru Govardhan ki jai, Jai Shri Chinmay, Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, Theistic Media Studio, Gupta Govardhan, Full Dome, and many other projects ki jai, Jai Srimati Bhakti Lalita Devi ki jai, all the devotees ki jai. So,
Jai Srila Bhakti Avadhut Maharaj ki jai.
Srila Bhakti Sudhir Goswami Maharaj ki jai. So, we here tonight in our Theistic Media Studio, we're celebrating Srila Acharya Maharaj's divine appearance, Vyasa Puja. There are many questions about divine personality of Srila Acharya Maharaj, which we try to answer to ourselves and to the rest of the world. And today his divine appearance. So it says that Vaishnava are self-revealing. Unless he reveal himself to you, his greatness, you can't really understand who Vaishnava is. And many great personalities, including Maharaj, like Dhruva, including great sages such as Durvasa Muni, who, could not recognize the position of Ambarish Maharaj in the history of Vedas. So we can see that even the great mystics, they can't really truly understand position of Vaishnava unless Vaishnava bestow the mercy and showing his divine form. So in our divine mission, as the disciples of Srila Govinda Maharaj, we have several senior disciples that been pretty much connect with the mission from the very beginning of Srila Govinda Maharaj's time when he took over Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat after the departure. So we have here Srimati Bhakti Lalita. She just came back from her glorious preaching tour of Russia, Ukraine, Europe, and the United States. And she especially arrived for Srila Acharya Maharaj's Divine Vyasa Puja. Actually, from the people that I know, there are only two people that I could really relate with in connection with the Srila Acharya Maharaj. It's Madhusudan Maharaj, who used to be Mahananda Prabhu, and Srimati Bhakti Lalita, because two of these devotees are been in the mat in the very beginning time, and they probably remember when Srila Acharya Maharaj came as a student, as a brahmachari, and took charge of particular service. So Srimati Bhakti Lalita will speak few words in the glories of Srila Acharya Maharaj, and maybe she'll reveal some confidential pastimes of Srila Acharya Maharaj, because I'm sure she knows a lot of them.
Well, first of all, This is a happy day for us. We're celebrating Srila Acharya Maharaj's appearance. And every year we come together to honor this festival and remember his qualities and his service to Srila Gurudev, which is always from his full energy.
Yes.
That's the one thing that comes to mind when we see him, when we associate with him. We are astonished by his energy levels.
Yes, he's a very explosive, very dynamic person. And, he can run around Bengal, he can do 300 kilometers driving a day, he can, dance on rickshaw, he can dance under rickshaw, he can feed 20,000 people prasadam. Just tell a little bit of his history, how he came to the mat and how you saw his development of his spiritual growth within connection with Gurudev.
Yes, I remember he joined a few years after me. So I remember hearing about this Vinod who appeared and came and sat at the front gates of the Chaitanya Saraswat Mat.
Okay.
And first he started doing security for the mat because there was no security. Mm-hmm. And he entered in and he just started staying and nobody kicked him out.
Did he just sit on the door or what was the reception?
He just came in and said, "You have no security here. I'll be your security."
Okay.
So he started sitting at the front gate and watching who's coming and going and getting to know who was good, who was not good, and who's allowed to come. And then he started saying, this needs to be done, the cowshed needs to be done, the kitchen needs to be attended to. So many things are not being attended to. He started doing everything.
So as we say, McDonald began from the front desk. So he had a true story coming to the mat and taking very menial service at the very gate, and at the same time trying to realize what's wrong. It's very interesting. So please continue.
Yeah. So little by little, he started taking care and became our manager naturally, just out of his service and starting from one point to the next and assisting Srila Gurudev and taking away worry by worry from Srila Gurudev. Gurudev didn't have to think about the kitchen anymore, didn't have to worry about the cowshed anymore, and devotees coming in the middle of the night and the security of the temple. And eventually made Srila Gurudev able to take a step back from managing the mission.
Well, which year he's joined?
It's like 93 or 4, maybe 4.
94.
Mm-hmm.
I joined in 93, but I came to India, I believe, in 96. And you joined 92. I joined 93. In 96, I came to India, and I came with a group of people. So my experience was that time Gurudev took me around and he took away my photo camera and started photographing me. I was trying to photograph Gurudev, and he really was inspired to see that the way I'm taking his pictures. Then he took camera, he started taking my pictures. Of course, I saw Mahananda, I saw you, and I think I did participate in, I don't remember which year, that was maybe this year or a year later, at the sannyas ceremony. And actually Gurudev had 2 persons taking sannyas. One is Vinod and one is Paramahamsa. And Paramahamsa's name was Rasabdi, and we call him Rasabji, like Sabji, but it's not really Sabji, it's Rasabdi. But Vinod was very clear, very little boy, like little Bengali saffron dressed boy. And Gurudev thinking like, okay, which kind of name I'm going to give him. So Gurudev gave him name like you are Acharya Maharaj, and to Rasabdi Paramahamsa Maharaj. Actually, that was like always the conflict between Paramahamsa and Acharya Maharaj, because Paramahamsa Maharaj, he envisioned himself as a guru. But from some mystical power that Gurudev gave Acharya Maharaj that title, because he had some divine vision that in the future this small boy will take over. So finally, I remember that Acharya Maharaj would go and give Dandavat to Rasabdi, because the Rasabdi was senior servitor, and he actually would travel with Srila Gurudev all over the world. And Acharya Maharaj's business was to take care of the mat while Gurudev outside. So as you understand, at certain point, Srila Gurudev would have to travel more and more and more. He would go to United States and Mexico and Venezuela, and he had like repeat invitations from different countries. So practically speaking, he would always travel during the summertime and particular like rainy season time. And he would come back to India sometimes September, October, at the time of Govardhan Puja, and would stay sometime in Vrindavan while we got to Vrindavan. But then he would stay Guru Maharaj's festival up to Guru Purnima, Navadvip mainly, and that would be the time when many Western people would come. So, like Acharya Maharaj, he would be sitting in that small room, small office room, and he would normally be sleeping on the chair like this. And when you need some buckets or something, you know, you'll come to Acharya Maharaj and say, Maharaj, we need some buckets, you know, for our shit. And he's like, here, there. And like, okay. So we would collect all the stuff. And it was amazing because the only time I saw him, I saw him like sitting on a chair and kind of like sleeping yoga nidra stage. And he would stay up to very late and be there like almost like very early in the morning. So he was kind of a man that we could go and ask all the questions like how we can get this, how we can get that. And Madhusudan Maharaj, who's Mahananda Prabhu, he would conduct all the spiritual programs for like Western devotees, the Samadhi class and, you know, different things. But when it would be coming like some outside preaching programs, Acharya Maharaj would be able to arrange some kind of amazing pandals and advertising, and thousands of Bengalis would come, and he would like, you know, all Indians always fighting over mic. You know, if you give the mic, unattendedly mic, they will be fighting who's going to sing, who's going to... I thought, like, these guys have so much passion for the service. I can't believe they're like doing all hard work, but they're also fighting for the mic who's going to sing the songs. So it's kind of like interesting. So Acharya Maharaj would bring this amazing flow of energy into the mat, and of course, as a bomb of energy, he would have to explode around other people. So he had many crashes and fights with gundas, and even they tried to kill him sometimes, right? Was it? You know that story?
Yeah, on the rickshaw.
Yeah.
As his rickshaw was going by.
Yeah.
Someone was trying to pull a grenade cap off.
I mean, the thing about India, when they try to kill you, they always have some kind of a crazy way to do it. So one of the way was like local gundas, you know, and why it's happened, because Acharya Maharaj also took care of like rice fields and cow shade. And, you know, always there's some gundas try to like possess things from the temple to exploit for their own need. Like they say, oh, you know, they have so much cow, why they're not giving us milk? You know, they would go try to steal milk, or they would get like rice fields. So I don't know what was the reason, but, you know, you can understand Acharya Maharaj is quite a dynamic person, so he gets a lot of enemies. So one of the guy was trying to kill him with bomb, and it's almost like the story of the Lord Shiva meeting with Vishnu. Then Lord Brahma giving blessing to the Lord Shiva, whatever he will ask, would touch with his finger, the head will explode. And then Shiva would try to chase the Brahma, and then Brahma was very scared, and then finally Vishnu saved his life. He said, well, was it Brahma?
No. Shiva gave blessing to one demon, and this demon...
Oh yeah, yes, Shiva gave the blessing to demon. So this demon would chase Shiva and try to stick his head with a finger. So Shiva had to hide, and finally Vishnu took a form of brahmachari, and he said very nicely, "Oh, my dear demon, how are you? How's your family? How's your grandfather?" So the demon got like kind of feeling that, oh, they know who I am. This brahmachari knows me since childhood. He knows my demon family, and he starts talking to him. And he said, "Who are you looking for?" And demon said, "I'm looking for that, Shiva." I said, "Why? Why are you looking for this rascal?" He said, yeah, rascal, because he gave me blessing that anybody head I can stick with the finger, the head will explode. And I said, "Come on, you trust Shiva? You trust that man with the snake? And who you trust?" And demon got the doubt. He said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, man, come on, if you want to try how it works, just try your head." So the demon so the blessing worked. It was almost the same story with Acharya Maharaj. So some kind of a gunda, I've heard that. It was a very popular story in Chaitanya Saraswat Math. He came, the gunda came with a bomb to throw bomb at Acharya Maharaj. And he's explore bomb and and he exploded himself. And then come on, guys, you can't every time you're trying to do something, you have your own crazy Bengali way to do it. Come on, So, which means that Krishna really saved many times Srila Acharya Maharaj's life. And Gurudev saved him for the sake of his service. Do you know any other stories?
Well, we've seen him in numerous difficulties and always coming out safe. And his life is always in danger, and he's still standing, still present after so many death threats. And
it's a very interesting point. Devotee's life is nightmare. Devotee's life is always difficulties and danger, but for some unique will of Krishna, he coming out of trouble. So in Srila Acharya Maharaj's life, we can say he did really had a lot of troubles and miraculously been saved numerous times by Gurudev and Krishna, including his life and stuff.
I can't think of any more specific stories, but there are some.
Of course. Well, one thing I can say, what I experienced then, one day when I came to India, I saw totally dry pond, Govinda Kund. And Gurudev, he want to do a beautiful pond and build a temple of Govardhan because it's a Gupta Govardhan. But Acharya Maharaj took this service super enthusiastically, and I saw his draining out of water from Govinda Kund. So when Govinda Kund was dry, and all the fish and snakes, had to run away, and fish got eaten by local, Bengali neighbors. They had to put foundation of a temple, and they could not put foundation of a temple because whatever the foundation they would make would go down to the sand. And then I said to Gurudev, we need a good engineer, and Gurudev told no, we need Kurma Puja. So Gurudev did Kurma Puja, and after Kurma Puja, that foundation has been established by some mystical way. So Srila Acharya Maharaj has built that Govinda Kund and beautiful guest houses that we have. He also built Bhamanpara temple. Then, he's got into Siliguri, Acharya, the Sevak Bhavan in Calcutta. So we can say one thing about Acharya Maharaj, he's got an amazing power to materialize some spiritual concepts and desires. When we say materialize, we don't really mean it's a material thing, but he's got some special power to make it happen. I remember when one time I said to Gurudev, can we go to Acharya? And Gurudev said, yes, you can go. I said, I've never been there. Gurudev said, I also haven't been there a long time, but you can go with devotees. That time was Gurudev Vyasa Puja, and Gurudev knew that there were many guests. And he said, then you can go with Acharya Maharaj. So Acharya Maharaj had this little bus, little, boss that's still in the temple, like a kind of ISKCON boss with propaganda. And, Acharya Maharaj tried to many ways copy with the good things people do in ISKCON. But we had to drive to Ekachakra with a group of devotees and like Ananda Vigraha and a few other devotees. And we brought everything with us, like the cooking equipment, because they were only like Sahaja Mat, and they wouldn't even like be happy to like give us anything. But when we came to Ekachakra, we were so much overwhelmed with beauty of Nityananda Prabhu's land. Then we like spoke with Acharya Maharaj, we went around, and then it was like mystical thing. We cook big lunch, and all the children from the village with plates came, like hundreds of children, and we had to feed them the remnants of our khichdi, and they all like, give. It was like crazy. Then I thought it's some kind of a Nityananda's Prabhu mercy. He said like, okay, you want to come to my place and feed my devotees. So near the place where we had lunch, Acharya Maharaj within a short time acquired some land, and he built this beautiful Nityananda Prabhu's temple, absolutely gorgeous. And the temple is so glorious and so beautiful, wonderful, that many hundreds of people coming there to that land, and they're worshipping Nityananda Prabhu and see the glories of Nityananda Prabhu. And nearby the birthplace of Nityananda Prabhu, but that's not super friendly place. Those people are kind of like very conservative. So I think one of his special services, discovering this Nityananda Prabhu's place and doing something very nice, very wonderful in this place.
Srila Gurudev wanted to go and was contemplating going by helicopter, and Srila Acharya Maharaj built a helicopter pad for him, but lastly he was unable to go in person. So we always feel that was his wish became true, that temple manifested. And he must have gone in spirit, and
definitely
is there with Shri Guru Gauranga Chandra Gaura. What's the deity's name there? Does anyone remember? Shri Guru Gaura Nityananda.
Whatever we know it's Nityananda Prabhu's place, and nearby there is a samadhi of Neville Nityananda Prabhu after birth, and so it's a very, very heart of Ekachakra, very, very important place, and Bakarai Kunda nearby. There are many unique stories that we can hear from Ekachakra's people about glories of Nityananda Prabhu and his appearance, and some of the stories are not in our authentic scriptures or books, so we don't know how much true they are, but we know there's a place where Hadai Pandit would worship Shiva, there is Padmavati Kunda, there is Bakarai place, the deity of Krishna that came by the river, there is Bakarai disappearance place. I mean, I don't want to talk right now about Ekachakra so much, but we can understand it's a very important, very beautiful, very sacred spiritual place, which Srila Acharya Maharaj is revealed and will be in the future worshipped by thousands of pilgrims. We know he did a beautiful temple in Bamanpara, where Gurudev's family deity is now worshipped in our Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat. So it's very, very important. We know that he actually built beautiful samadhi of Srila Govinda Maharaj, and as well as in Vrindavan, Navadvip. And we actually think with his energy and ability to do things, he could do so many things. And, it was a very difficult time after Srila Guru disappeared, because people were very, like people didn't know what to do, and we could not say everything Gurudev's will, because we thought that they might be used by opposition, against the mission. But one thing we can say, that all the Acharyas, which designated by Srila Govinda Maharaj, they actually give uncompromised support to Srila Acharya Maharaj for several years and months, and like Goswami Maharaj, myself, and other devotees and sannyasis would stay in India and try to support temples. Some of the devotees had to go to jail, and some of the devotees had to face a lot of legal troubles. Like Madhusudan Maharaj, he had to hide from false cases and police. But I think it's important for devotees to know that actually Srila Acharya Maharaj got unconditional support from the senior group of senior disciples of Srila Gurudev, and we still believe that he is one of the superior servants of Srila Gurudev, especially when it comes to India. India is his zone, and Srila Gurudev saw him as a specifically meant for India, because it's one of the most complicated service place in our mission. That has very complicated ethnic, spiritual, and conscious, environment that you need to know how to deal with. So, what do you say?
Yes. Srila Gurudev felt that there was only Acharya Maharaj there who could manage the Chaitanya Saraswat Math, specifically Navadvip was his concern, and saw how from the very beginning he managed the mission, and how he took away his worries and was able to travel the world, and the Math would run. So he was confident that at least the Math could run, and made Srila Acharya Maharaj promise, when you receive opposition, you will not run away. And Acharya Maharaj promised that. Yes, I will not run away. And we see he never ran away. Even his life was in danger, he was thrown in jail, went through so many troubles. Still to this day, he hasn't run away.
Yeah, he definitely had very, very serious tasks and very serious challenges in his spiritual life and managerial life and acharyaship. And, many times we had to force him for certain things because we were all concerned what's going to happen with our mission in India. But rightly or wrongly, as Gurudev would say, he stayed in India, managed situation, and it seems like Krishna is in his favor. So it's an important day for us to say that it's almost 5 years that Srila Gurudev disappeared, and we had a lot of different projects, especially in Eastern Europe, Russia, Italy, which we've been involved in preaching. But we also know that Srila Acharya Maharaj has continued his preaching program. When we call him up today, he was super busy doing his class, morning class, and then we spoke with him, myself, Bhakti Lalita. It was very affectionate exchange. But we can see that he's still a dynamic preacher, and he's got his own style, of course, his own way to represent spiritual ideas, but we can see that in general his mood is to distribute Krishna consciousness and give it to others. And in general he's inquiring from people self-sacrifice, because he's actually did self-sacrifice himself, so it's very easy to inquire from somebody what you did. So he knows what Guru Bhakti is. And so he's a super servitor, and I'm very happy to celebrate in a group of disciples and followers here in Chiang Mai, in worldwide, especially Russia, Ukraine. We have a number of Srila Acharya Maharaj disciples, who is celebrating with all our disciples and our followers his Vyasa Puja today in Petersburg, Moscow. So I'm expecting some calls, and I probably will go into the Russian mood. And we want to thank Srimati Bhakti Lalita Devi. She came specially for this important occasion. She chosen to celebrate Srila Acharya Maharaj here with us in Chiang Mai, and she's going to be here for a few good months, and do a lot of spiritual work, which we're planning to do and prepare for our next gig to the festivals and preaching world. So thank you so much, and with your blessing permission, I'll switch into Russian. Is it okay? Thank you.